It's a pleasure meeting you. Actually, when I finished from secondary school, I had a dream that I would never be an employee, but I would follow a pattern that I would be an employer. That gingered me to follow the pattern of trying to see how I can employ people. Along the line, I went out from my community and applied to be an apprentice under an Igbo man. He accepted me, and I was under him receiving the training for almost 12 good years. After the 12 years, and I started up my own business about 15 years ago. It wasn't easy to start, and God has been helping me. Today I can boast of some numbers of persons that I've employed. I have not actualized the whole vision I had, but at least I have started. Good. When I look at the economy of Nigeria, especially if you trace the history of Nigeria, when some of us were born, there was a little deviation from the agricultural sector, which has been the main stem of the Nigerian economy. They shifted the whole thing, relying solely on the petroleum product. And I said, my father has been into this farming work for some years before some of us were born. I was born and brought up in the farming activities. Looking at his own antecedent, I discovered that he has not achieved much along that lines. So I said, if the whole Nigeria is shifting into the issue of petroleum, which is oil and gas, why not me join the queue so that I can actualize my dream? I think that was the reason behind me having the zeal of diving into the business of oil and gas. And I trust God. It helped me. And today I have no cause to regret, because I've been of little assistance, not only to my family, even to my community, because of the nature of the business I'm doing. Naturally, I like having interfering with people, sharing ideas with people, helping people. I've said it earlier that my vision of diving into business is to make sure that I started helping my people, start as being an employer of labor. Because when you look at the Nigerian economy, 75% of our youth are not employed. Like some of us who graduated for some years ago, I was actually looking for a job, because when I look for a job, I say no. Some little things I dive into, like I said, if I remain here, there's no way I can actualize my dream. That was why I dived into business. And doing the business, I've been trying my best to help my people by getting them employed and provide some basic amenities for them. But as the society expands, I look at the numbers of people that are looking up to me. I said, these limited liability companies that I'm running now cannot accommodate the needs of my people, especially getting them employed and provide what I have seen them lacking that I'm supposed to have. On the basis of that, I said, no, I must have to dive into something else that will enable me at least to help my people. If not 100%, at least let me get to above 80%. In fact, politics and business are things you cannot separate. If you want to succeed very well in business, you must combine the two. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is I'm not leaving the business. I'm only diving into politics to add values to what I'm doing so that it will aid me more to help my people. You know, every human being, you have a being which is inside you. Apart from the fact that I study political science up to the university level, as I've earlier said, I have the chill of interacting with people, relating with people every second of my life. Diving into politics, we know very well that human beings are very, very dynamic in nature. Actually, people have been contesting, especially from my ward, and I have not been making it. There's always a saying that is, when you learn from the mistakes of others, you catapult yourself ahead of whatever they plan for you. So on the basis of that, been into politics for some time, even though I have not contested once, I've discovered some challenges internally, especially in my council work, that we are not connected, or we don't have political alliance with other council work. And most of them that contested for elections, for positions once, they always capitalize on the next person that is contesting with them, not trying to market themselves, not trying to tell the world what they have in stock for the people. As you can see, whatever I'm doing now, I started this business from Adamawa State. But when it is coming off stage, I feel I should shift the business down to where it should be of help to my people. That was why I relocated about 15 years ago down here. When you look at the challenges they have been facing in my council ward, I suggested certain things during the last election that we should forget about campaigning against your immediate brother. Capitalize on what you can do and make yourself marketable before the other council ward. If you are preparing yourself to be a leader, you should have it at the back of your mind that what is your interest? Are you going there because you want to accumulate wealth for yourself? Or you are going there with the people's mind that you want to help them from one problems to another? Or you are going there to just gather things for yourselves? These are two different things. If you have it at the back of your mind that you are going there to assist, to help the society to develop, that where we are now as an Igede nations, there is a way out. Because some of us, even in my own personal private business I'm doing, I have the mind of at least making some few persons to be a millionaires. I've been trying my best. Those who want to follow the educational lines, I've been helping them, telling them what to do. Because before I went to university, I knew what I faced. So the same thing applicable to politics, because I discovered that human challenges are unique to certain extents. And in our own immediate society, the basic challenge we have is rooted on unemployment. It's rooted on unemployment. The few people that are misbehaving, that are tarnishing the image of what we have to, what we need to know Igede as a person is because of unemployment, because of hunger. So if you can address these issues, if you can tolerate and accommodate some of the little challenges, then your succeeding in politics will be very easy. I have been home for some time, so I knew what our peoples are facing. I have done my sampling, take some questions, take some challenges across the 16 council ward that I'm trying to represent. Now, what are the major challenges here? Apart from the general challenges of unemployment, our problems are not far-fetched from trying to accommodate ourselves, trying to tolerate ourselves. Where love will lead. And where there's love, there's always divine supernatural breakthrough. If there's love, there's divine supernatural breakthrough. That is why anywhere I am, I always bring peace. Let us accommodate and tolerate our mistakes. Because where there's no peace, there will be no room for development. And when there is no development, the issue of this unemployment will continue to linger around. I am not God, but if by His grace, if I get there, I will try my best to influence and make sure that even if all these problems cannot be solved, at least we will be targeting above 50, which means we have succeeded in moving the nation from where we are now to another level. So if you look, for instance, like Oboroye Council Ward, 75% of the Oboroye Council Ward has serious challenge of rural road. And if you look at Ojua's local government, where we have major agricultural produce is from Oboroye Council Ward. There are some little covered there. I'm not going as an executive, but as a legislator. But I at least will try to influence and see how we'll tell the government this is where the resources that is feeding this local government is coming from. So there is a need for us to do something there. Apart from the general employment that I've said earlier, that is everywhere as far as the nation is concerned. And because we are not connected to even the state, not to talk of the federal. If there's anything like employment, before they will take one from Igede Nation, you discover that about 6, 7, or even more than that are from Idoma, and even more than 20 from Tivla. And also like Owo Council Ward, they have the same peculiar problem, the same thing applicable to EH. All of them have serious challenge of feeder roads, even though the whole of the local government, if you talk of road, is 0%. All we need to do is just to liaise with the government and see that where the economic resources is coming out from, there's a need to look onto that side and help them out. The government cannot do everything, but these are some of the basic things. If you have a case of telling the government, this is why I want this place, I want something in this place, you not just go there and tell them we want a road. It's just like when US, they used to say, where there's no peace to keep, there's no need for peacekeeping. But US believe where there's no economic resources, there's no need for any peacekeeping. So where there is an economic resources, at least the government need to look to that side and do something. Because in Benue in particular, we don't have what generates revenue for us. More so as a businessman, at least as far as I'm concerned in this business, I can tell you boldly that if there's anything like calling myself a professor along the line, I think I'm into this business more than 20 years now. So I'm a professor along the line. And if I can make it on my own, without the challenges here, no road, no light, nothing, but I'm still making it, at least to employed over 50, and all of them are doing at least fairly better than where they were before I employed them. So collecting those statistical record of their challenges, with time, by His grace, we'll get there. We'll still put it together and see how we can do it better together. Igedagba is, I think, not even the major is the only festive period we have as CBD. The Rex are just a Boro culture. And since I was born, as the history review itself, Igedagba is not just a celebration because we just want to eat here. It's an avenue where an Igede man reconcile the differences. They sit down together and harmonize whichever differences they have and resolve them and start a new life. For some time, there have been a deviation from the main agenda of celebrating Igedagba. But some of us have started preaching that we should dive back to what we have been doing before in a new style. Let's do the old things in a new style. So that all these issues of misunderstanding within ourselves is because they don't have a time to sit down and reflect that yes, I've done this to my brother, I'm ready to make a change and start a new life on a capital note. I've earlier said it, where there's no peace, there's no room for development. And where there's no peace, there's no love. And where there's no love, there will be no supernatural provision. So I think Igedagba should be more or less a gathering where we iron out our differences and see how we can forge ahead. Some people attributed the celebration of Igedagba to what they call Akpan and all this. To me, what my dad or my parents told me, clearly reviewed that Igedagba is far from that. It's a means of coming together, iron out our difference, and see how we can forge ahead. And using yam as a symbol of that gathering symbolizes the kind of special food that Igede man prefer. We are not celebrating yam, but we are coming together to see how we can at least harmonize our differences and forge ahead. I urge every of my homelet that day, if there is any differences, we come together, we talk it over, and then see how we forge ahead together.